According to Google Dictionary, adulthood is the state or condition of being fully grown or mature. And for many of us, we couldn't wait to live the adult life. A life without restrictions, curfews, and also extra meat in our meals. Welcome to season 3 of the Millennial Talk Show. My name is Sheyi Olayera, and today I'm going to be discussing with 4 young millennials their expectations of what adulthood should be. So it is a situation of what they ordered versus what they got. We are live at Café Yaba, an innovative co-working space by Sterling Bank. Let's get started. All right, my people, here, welcome. Aramdi, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Hi, Caleb. Caleb. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Glad to hear. Good. Oh, yay!
Very, very well.
Glad to hear.
Don't ask me.
Sorry. How are you doing? Mofe, how you doing?
Good, I'm good.
All right, thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm so excited to have you. All right, so I saw a tweet, and the tweet said, "It reached my turn to be adult. Think on the cost, and it just made me really laugh. And yeah, so that's just on a lighter note. So I was going to ask, what were your expectations about adulthood? Is this what you expected adulthood to be? Like, is this what you thought you were going to face, like when you were younger? Anybody? Everybody's going to talk.
Okay, so how?
Are you thinking about? Is it that serious? Like, so who is that? Okay.
I'm trying to think down from like
Is this what
when
you
I was
expected?
young.
Yeah.
No, it isn't what I expected. It's like, more. It is difficult.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know. Maybe for me as an individual that I'm not at the moment staying with my parents, then having to live alone, the expenses
Right.
and your personal expenses, then maybe sometimes family expenses, and you're like, how old am I again? Is this how it is really? So it's difficult sometimes, but
Let me go to Mufe. So,
Okay, personally, I always assume that by the time I'll be 25, I'll probably be married. I'll be expecting.
what you ordered
That's
is what
a lot.
you got.
That's a lot.
I'll just be maybe chilling in my own place, be married, be expecting kids.
Right.
My life is just taking shape. Yeah. I thought about being a family person, right? Well, I didn't think too much, but I always just assumed I'll be a family person right from primary school. I was already like, oh, I'll be that, I'll be married.
Primary school. Wow.
Like, it's
When
already,
we're
like,
thinking of what that's marriage.
it's already in my mind that that's what successful career, get married, get a family.
Exactly, yeah.
But life happens, and none of those things have. But yeah, I'm starting. I've ticked the career box, so we're starting from there, and we have to make the best of what we have. That's it for me.
Oh, yay.
I reality. I wanted freedom. But freedom comes with other things too. So you realize responsibility never leaves.
Actually, never.
Yeah.
Never leave.
When my parents would go and come back, they were not playing. I wanted to also go, but now that you are going to work. And so my expectation as a child was, I thought adulthood would be a lot of fun. When I graduated secondary school, I was happy. I graduated university, I was happier. But
They didn't tell us.
but yeah, so yeah, it's not, it doesn't match.
Interesting. Caleb, what about you?
Well, it's funny, but when you look at it, it's common with everybody on this table. They teach us everything, childhood. Nobody gave us a syllabus as to how this thing was going to be. And you're happy at first, you step in, they always tell you trust the process, but man, the process is tough. Like, it's tough. My expectation, well, just like Mufe said, I actually told me by 26, 27, possibly working in the big 4, have your ride, have your house and all that. But, the process. They say trust the process, and I believe that.
Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking about that, actually, I had a book in secondary school where at 20, my first house.
Exactly. Wow. Yes, just as what Mofe said, for me as a lady also, I think, okay, I graduated at like 20 thereabout, 21, I was 7. I think I started working at 22, so I'm like, okay, yeah, 22.
You're on track. You're right on
By 25, master's done, I'm married, I have kids. Look, you can't even talk to me about marriage now. I'm like, please, take it easy.
Interesting. So on a lighter note now, so I hear you. So when I was younger, I had plans for the age I am now. So we are all going to look back, and look at how or what we thought this age was going to bring us. So for me, I'm going to be 26 in a few months, and for me, I had plans that at 21, I actually wanted to get married early. 21, married, have my twins at 22.
Oh boy.
Be working with one of the international media firms, and be an international host and all of that. But guys, that dream, I'm still dreaming it. I'm not woken up. So I just want to ask, what were some of the things you envisioned for this age, your present age right now? So I've given mine as an example. And you might have achieved some, so please, gist us, tell us, let us know.
I wanted to be, it might not sound,
We'll take
you might not understand, but I wanted to be a musician.
Wow.
And I wanted to write movies, but I'm in a bank now. So yeah, that was my vision. Yeah, I already thought by 26, 27, I should be like a multi-millionaire.
Oh my God.
In the process.
We're still in the process. We'll get there. But yeah, so that's if I understand your question, that's the vision I had for this age. To write music and sing, and as you can tell from my voice.
Wow. Actually.
So that was it, and make money.
So who else?
Okay, for me, for this age, I think it's not about thinking. I'm on track because maybe from childhood, I've always wanted the banking experience. I wanted to do the career thing. I'm not the business-minded kind of person. So okay, shortly after school, get a job, which I was fortunate enough, I got a job into the banking sector. Not the unit I wanted, but once you continue to push, you get there. Like, Rome is not built in a day. Then I thought, okay, maybe my first year of working, I'll get my master's. I don't know what happened. Sha jam me, sha.
That master's.
I don't know. Then that was like in 2018. Like I was like 2018, 2019. I get my master's done. Along the line, I'm like, oh, I'm tired. Then 2020, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not ready yet. And I don't know. Then I think it was in 2021. I'm like, no, I'm not pushing this thing anymore. I need to get it done and all of that. So I'm on track.
That's really good.
Let me say, I'm still pushing ahead. Let's say, okay, I'm on track. But we'll get there, I believe.
Yeah, most definitely.
I believe.
So, Mofe, Caleb, who wants to go next?
Okay, I mean, it's amazing seeing these guys actually have something they wanted.
So you did?
For me, I actually don't have anything laid out. Like it's funny, but I didn't really have a plan laid out. I knew I wanted to be an engineer, but then something happened, jam happened, and then I took a different route. But I actually wanted to work in the Big Four. But funny enough, I'm in banking, and I actually had a plan. 27, try to get a house. Am I on track? I think so, probably. And
I love that.
yeah, I'm on track. Yeah, kind of.
Like to buy your own house or like
Get my own
stay in a
house.
house. Like,
Buy my own house.
Bye.
I mean, 27,
Bye.
but what God cannot do, can I do?
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay, for me, what helped me is for my vision. I think it's always good you have somebody more like a mentor that can, like, if you know this is what you want, somebody that can help you visualize it, that's okay, this is how to be on track, that is in that space at the moment and would take you like the right path. Do this, be focused.
Hold you by the hand.
Yes, hold you by the hand, so as is your knowledge gap is ticking, your growth is more as important as is holding your hand, and yes, it makes you encouraged that okay, yes, I can actually achieve this. So I had that person, I still have that person that encourages me to be like the best of myself regardless of whatever it is that is happening at the moment. Just be you and you get there. So everything is achievable once you set your mind to it.
Okay.
Okay, for me, I'll still go back to primary school. I always loved math. I love science. So engineer, it was not a deep thing for me. Engineer straight up. And then by the time I got through secondary, I was still on course for that. I got my jam. I started elect, and by the time I was in 300 level, I wasn't feeling it.
Very considerate.
Yeah, but I still finished, and I was like, I don't want to really. I looked at the engineers around me, and it wasn't really encouraging. I don't know if I wanted to. I wanted it as much as I thought I did. And my service year, I was in engineering still, and then I started having interest in IT, started developing myself. I'm still developing myself, I'm pushing for that. But I ended up in banking, my first job, and it was interesting. And the funny thing is, as a child, all my parents were bankers, and I told myself never, never, because of the late nights, and I never used to see my parents growing up. But yeah, they made me who I am today, and I'm grateful for that. But now I'm in banking, ironically. Yeah, and I'm making the most out of it, and I'm still working on going after my desired career path. And I know it will work out eventually.
Interesting.
Just to chime in though, I mean, for both of them, guys, she talked about mentorship. I mean, did you have any mentors when you were growing up? Basically, people who held you by the hand?
Mine started just shortly after I finished from school. It was like I met the person just during my service year. So that was what helped me, because of course as a young chum, I had options. I can either start selling bags, become an entrepreneur, but he was more like a career person too, and he saw that in me also, that she's more career oriented, so why not, let me just do this.
I think for me, it wasn't exactly be my mentor sort of thing. I more or less looked up to be honest, my dad. I've always looked up to my dad, and I've always had this whole career-focused, structured environment kind of setup. I've never been much of an entrepreneur. It frightens me, the idea of running your own thing. So I just, his sense of dedication, his sense of commitment to his duties, and there was one thing that used to stand out for me with my dad was that every time I was always I was a very curious child. So anytime I asked him a question, he would always have an answer. He always knew something about something. And so and he was one that also pushed me to always like to read, always like to discover things, learn. So I've always just adopted that kind of approach to life. I'm always curious. I'm always curious, always checking up things. So it was my dad that really molded my ideology on my career and life in general.
All right, so what would you say to young ones that are eager to be adults? I can't wait to be an adult, I'll have my own money, that's when I want to go, So what would you say to them? In one sentence, please.
Be prepared for the battle ahead.
It's a real battle.
It never stops.
Battlefield.
It never stops. It just never stops. It just never stops. Once you are at a point, you feel like, okay, I need to climb the next step. And once you are there again, you be like, okay, I need to be there again. You shouldn't just relent, because it never stops. It never stops. So people that we look up to that they didn't stop. They're still you just want to go up. So it never stops. The battle never stops.
So Philip, one sentence.
I mean, I guess that's the camera. Good. So if everybody's actually listening, and I'm sure people are listening, don't rush the process. Don't rush the process. I mean, don't. Trust me. Don't rush the process. I mean, that's why I keep it out. Don't rush the process. You'll be glad. You'll be so glad that when you get to this stage and then you look behind, you'll be like, man, I really miss those days. Trust me. Trust me, you will.
Just like Asha said, live in the moment. Tomorrow belongs to God. So I think
Live in the moment. Nice. Yay.
One sentence of it.
One sentence. I said one sentence. You have given me 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, so the thing would be ready to accept responsibility. The responsibility doesn't stop. And adulthood is not scam. It has its advantages. It has its advantages, disadvantages. For instance, as a child, they can tell you, go and kneel down there, go and do this. Don't worry to do that to you as an adult. You have your time and use it wisely.
Okay, Mofe, one sentence. What would you say?
Don't be frightened about the prospects of the future. We live in a time where everyone is scared and just disenfranchised with everything that's going on. We've gone through 2 global recessions, there's so many scary prospects out there. I mean, we're all Nigerians, so we can see the writing on the wall, but just take it one at a time. Take it one at a time.
So you've heard it all. Is adulthood scam? Were these your expectations of what adulthood should be? Please leave your comments in the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe. See you in the next episode.